Boom. Lee Saunders, Tina G, Misha Oliver, Kathy Murphy, Foxhill Dreams, your boy Ken, Tanise, Susie Brizuela, Watcher Sokol, Sheila McGinnis, Synth Fan, 1269 J Rock, Lucielle, Patricia Haverkamp, Peter is a boss, Stephanie L. from Florida, Julianne Gauthier, and me, BDD in the Heezy. Kathy F. I'm early. Sandra from Paramount, Sheila Bird, aka She-Bee, Petty Deb, the Trump Reaper, Olivia from Seattle, Jen Murphy, Gina Potter, Monique Lee, Petty Deb, oh yeah, she's here, yeah, Stella Baxter, welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad, and this is Storytime. Cling, cling. What's up, family? I see Lisa Straw popped in and Cindy C. Welcome, guys. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a lovely, relaxing, exciting weekend. I did. I did a little bit of watering, a lot of TV watching, and some relaxing. Petty Deb says, payback is a biatch when your stripper's name is Karma. Well said. Hey, there's Eponymous George in the Heezy, as well as Foxhill Dreams, and Wifey is in the house, folks. Tracy M is here too. Welcome to all, and let's get this show started with our stories of the day. Stories of the day. Reality winner was finally freed. This is awesome news. In the Heights was a modest box office hit, but is getting hit by critics of color. President Biden continues to reassure our allies in his Europe trip. We'll get an update. Moscow Mitch McConnell is up to his dirty tricks again. Will we ever be able to stop him? Last but not least, today's You Raggedy Bish is the propaganda Barbie, Kayleigh McEnany. I couldn't remember the nickname I had for her. McEnincompoop, propaganda Barbie, etc., etc. So, yeah, as I mentioned a little earlier, this was a weekend for relaxation. I did drop Malik off. Malik was here a few days last week, and I dropped him off to hang out with his buddies. And when I had put on my mask, my face mask, he cracked up. He's like, "Yo, that's the biggest face mask I've ever seen." I said, I gotta cover the beard too. Well, so anyway, let's take a peek at the random stuff I have for the top of the show. Boom. So one of the movies wifey and I did watch on Friday night was In the Heights, and Malik caught some of it with us too. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was a rocking, rapping, uh, it was a fun time. It was just absolutely a fun time. Great cast, a lot of energy, a lot of color, but unfortunately, there was not enough color for some critics. I'm not going to give up any spoilers. However, we will go in depth a little later on in the show about the whole issue of colorism and did they represent enough people of color in this movie? Next up, last night, wifey and I finally caught up with Mayor of Easttown, and it's not a long show. It's a TV show. It's on HBO. We did binge the final 5 episodes of this show, and I gotta say, I was highly impressed. Despite it's a slow start, it's a slow start to this show. We watched like the first 2 episodes, and wifey and I looked at each other. Hey, I see some Rose Colonis here, Punxsutawney Mo, Michelle Warmoth, a bunch of people just popped in. Welcome, you guys. We looked at each other and we were like, it's kind of slow. And don't get me wrong, it is riveting and it's authentic. Those of you who live in Pennsylvania can confirm if you do watch this, when you hear the way they speak, the dialect, Kate Winslet did a great job, as did the rest of the cast. But what you'll see a lot of is, Kate Winslet looking, and then you'll see Kate Winslet staring, and then you'll see you'll see Kate Winslet vaping, and then you'll see Kate Winslet reverse aging and smoking out of a fancy cigarette. What is that? And then you'll see Kate Winslet staring again, still reverse aged. And then you'll see Kate Winslet save a young man from drowning because there's plenty of room on that door, right? You know that, right? Jack can fit on that goddamn door. Shaking my damn head. And you will also see Kate Winslet shooting a gun. Yes, it's a fantastic show. I highly recommend it. In addition to the looking and staring and vaping and smoking, reverse age, all that, primarily this show does give a really good look. Lisa's like she let Jack drown. She did. That pissed me off, man. Yeah, she didn't want to. In fact, I think, come to think of it, I feel like Jack was like, no, but she should have insisted. God damn it. She forced him basically to draw her nude, didn't she? And then they did the hibbity dibbity in that old car, whatever. But this show took a really close look at mental health, which is important. It took a look at drug addiction. It took a look at relationships and families. Fantastic show. All thumbs all the way up. I give this show a 10. A 10, which is also, by the way, the mark that I gave In the Heights before having seen the negative reviews. I don't care about negative reviews. Critics, I don't pay critics any mind. I'm my own critic. And I, as long as I'm entertained and I enjoy what it is I'm seeing, I'm going to give it a fair mark. So yeah, fair mark for in the Heights and mayor of Easttown. Okay, so next up we're gonna roll right into our quick hits. Quick hits. Damn it. My mouse is not working. There we go. Quick hits. Hit that summer bee. Draw me like one of your French girls, Jack. That's from Lisa Hathaway. Yeah. Yeah, great show. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump on into these quick hits. So Saturday was Superman Day. And me, comic book guy, I didn't even know it until I saw hashtag Superman Day was trending. And I happened to notice that while I was already watching an episode of Superman and Lois, which shows on the CW. Pretty good show as far as, superheroes are concerned. I enjoy it. They do Superman justice. Obviously, as a comic book nerd, I can nitpick during the show certain things, but overall, it's well represented. What ticks me the hell off, and it will never stop being ridiculous, is the fact that for some reason, nobody can recognize Superman without his glasses. And nobody's like, hey, it looks like Clark Kent, doesn't it? I mean, guys, when you're watching a movie and you see an actor who's in makeup, he's got a beard, his whatever, they put some CGI, you're still like, hey, isn't that's that guy from that movie, right? Come on, real life. Brooklyn Dad without glasses, Brooklyn Dad with glasses. You mean to tell me if you saw me out in the street and I didn't have glasses and I was wearing something different, you'd be like, no, I don't know that guy at all. Come on. In this day and age, especially when they tell the Superman story in the day and age of cell phones, most of our cell phones, they are already equipped with facial recognition software. Okay, they are. Hey, what's up, Laurie B? Laurie B is here too. Facial recognition. That's Christopher Reeves up there, a.k.a. Clark Kent, a.k.a. Superman. Rest in peace, Christopher Reeves. But you know that guy. That squiggly hair thing isn't fooling anybody. It's not fooling anybody. Slumping the shoulders. Come on, get out of here with that shit. So yeah, glasses, no glasses. Glasses, no glasses. Oh, no, I don't recognize him at all. Stupid. Anyway, speaking of Supermen, well, Joe Biden's not Superman, but he's doing a super job on his trip to Europe. He is wiping the bad taste out of Europeans' mouths. He met with the Queen, Our Majesty the Queen, on Saturday, and for all intents and purposes, that trip went very well. He met with the Queen. He cracked some jokes, made her smile, didn't disrespect her. Actually, because of the former guy's faux pas when he went to visit the Queen and he was walking in front of her, apparently they took that whole bit that, when he's addressing the troops or inspecting the troops, the president gets to inspect the troops with the Queen. They took the Queen out of that because I guess they figure we know he's a different guy, but it's still Joe Biden. So anyway, that went well. And overall, his trip to Europe, it's completely different. As Boris Johnson had said, thank you, Lee Saunders, inspecting the guard. Thank you. Boris Johnson said that Biden was a breath of fresh air. Now, the stakes are going to be upped considerably. Today, he met with President Erdogan from Turkey, and they discussed some things. Naturally, President Biden said that the United States will acknowledge the massacre, the Armenian massacre, and that's a sore spot for Turkey. They don't want that to be acknowledged. The same way white supremacists don't want Tulsa to be acknowledged as a massacre here. But Biden is his own guy, and he's going to do his own thing. My concernicus, however, and I am somewhat concerned that Wednesday, Biden is meeting with Vladimir Putin, and Putin is a different guy. He's a different guy. Right now, Putin is busy spinning some bullshit, trying to compare the January 6th insurrectionists with political prisoners. Dude, that's no comparison. These people attacked our U.S. Capitol. But that's what he does. He spreads propaganda. And I just hope Biden is prepared to deal with a guy who has been prepping himself and studying Biden, and he's ready to maybe try to throw some shit in the game, throw him off his game. I don't know. But I'm a little bit concernicus about that. But I'm really concernicus about Mitch McConnell. This bitch is not going away anytime soon. And he's poised to create more problems for us. For as long as he's going to be in the Senate, there is no such thing as bipartisanship. And I wish Manchin and Sinema would get it through their thick skulls. As long as he's in the Senate, he's going to cause problems. So he told Hugh Hewitt on his show that if he is the majority leader and a Supreme Court seat opens up, he's not going to allow a vote on it, whether it's 2023 or 2024, not allowing a vote. And nobody should be surprised, because we saw what he did with Neil Gorsuch, with Brett Kavanaugh, and with Amy Coney Barrett. It's his playbook. He holds the football. Sinema and Manchin come charging to kick the bipartisanship football, and he pulls it away and says, "Ha ha, suckers." So I'll say it again. I'm going to say it every day. We need to win 2022. We need more seats, preferably 5 more, preferably more than 5. But there are definitely 5 states that are up for grabs. Last but not least, in Israel, Israelis were out celebrating big time with for some reason, soap suds. I mean, that's not confetti in the picture, guys. That's soap suds. That's their unique way of partying, I guess. They were celebrating the ousting of Benjamin Netanyahu. So this is a big deal. This guy was corrupt. He was not a good partner with the United States, or at least with liberals in the United States. Who is replacing him is this guy, Naftali Bennett. And a lot of people are saying, well, Bennett's kind of worse. But the guy just got the job. He is not Netanyahu. So let's see what happens. I don't think peace in the Middle East is going to be achieved anytime soon unless leaders are willing to step up and say, all right, I'm going to make a deal with you that's going to hurt me politically as long as it hurts you politically equally. Then that's the only way. Both sides have to give up something. Both sides have to feel pain in that deal between Israel and the Palestinians. That's it. There's got to be a 2-state solution. They got to sell it hard. They got to get their religious leaders to support this unanimously, or if not unanimously, like they need 90% support on both sides at the ground level. It's not just the politicians. You can't have just, a leader on both sides saying, yeah, we're going to have peace, because the people down below, they're going to be like, you know what? For your unanimous solution. So, yeah, they got to get everybody engaged in this process. I think overall, I think the majority of people want peace. We shall see what happens. And that's that for the quick hits, folks. Let's jump right on in to a timeline, a cleanse. Timeline cleanse. Did I see somebody shouting out, scribble my dibbles? Oh, Asmila J is here too. Welcome, Asmila J. You snuck in after the thing. Where is scribble my dibbles? I don't see you. Hey! All right. What are we? Hey, and there's Corey Lord. Victorina is here too. Welcome, you guys. I love you all so much. Kathleen Cross is here. There you go. Okay, so timeline cleanse. This first one here, you guys know how much I suddenly love cats, right? Really, dogs are my jam, but cats are my new jam because I have two of them. And as quirky and moody as they can be, I do love them. But this first one is a perfect example of why some folks, especially male men, might not be too fond of cats, bro.
How am I going to get this in here? Got my glove.
That cat!
Give me my glove back, you.
That cat is dangerous. Okay, moving right along. Have you ever wondered, what it would be like to be a dog, or even if you could understand what dogs are saying, especially, hang on a second. I'm not ready for that yet. Especially what I tend to wonder is when those of you who have dogs, if you're walking your dog and you're having a nice, pleasant walk, the dog stops and pees on something, he keeps walking, he's sniffing around. But all of a sudden, there's another dog that you're passing by, and the dog loses their mind. So this next clip imagines, what if humans were like dogs? And they just go back to their business. I love how they're jumping up and down too. That's great. Very clever. Excuse me. Okay, last but not least, you guys. This is the feel-good part of the timeline cleanse, right? So I often wonder if I could be a superhero, if I could have any power, what would that be? Would it be flight? Would it be super speed? Would it be invisibility? But as a dad, I already have a superpower. And my superpower is the ability to act goofy and to make the children laugh. I just love this. He has powers. It's so cute. And the kids' laughter, it's like a drug. You never get tired of making a baby laugh. This kid is all in. Do it again, Daddy. That's, so dads, those of you who have dads, which would be most of us, right? We don't tire of telling or doing the same joke. Have you noticed that? You guys have a dad? Because I'm that dad. I'm that dad. It's like, I ever tell you about the time? And my poor sons, my grown sons, they lived with me for years saying, did I ever tell you about the time? Yeah, Dad, you told us about that time, and this is what happened, and this was the end. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Oh, wait. Trump Reaper saying happy Father's Day. Isn't it this Sunday, Father's Day? I swear it is, right? Father's Day, this coming Sunday? It's got to be. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. Okay, let's see. We go to 6 so far. And to keep us on track, it is this Sunday. Okay, good. To keep us on track, I'm going to jump right on into our first feature. That means you guys, unfortunately, I am foregoing the roll call. Those of you who jump in early when the show is first started, you get a little mini roll call. I'm still figuring out the timing of this show, so just bear with me. You guys know I got roll call in my blood, in my veins, but I got stuff to cover. So, moving right along, reality winner is free. So when I first heard about Reality Winner, I was like, wait, is that a real name? That sounds like a reality show. Did she win a reality show? No, that is her name. Reality Winner. Kind of a cool name. She was imprisoned in the year 2018. Reality Winner is a whistleblower. She was imprisoned for revealing she sent information to the media stating that Russia did influence our elections. They meddled in our elections. And this is a big deal. She's a young girl. Many people consider her a hero. I mean, that's shit that we should know. We absolutely should know. But she broke, protocol. They put her in prison. I think it's a very harsh sentence. In fact, it is probably the most harsh sentence for that kind of thing. So she's a contractor charged with leaking classified NSA info. And her mom has been frequently on Twitter asking for President Biden to pardon her. So let's just make something clear. She's free, but she hasn't been pardoned. And she's free, but this freedom is not a result of somebody high up doing her a solid. No, she's gotten out on good behavior. That's the only reason she got out. Now, here's a tweet. This is a tweet revealing the situation here. It says, I'm thrilled to announce that Reality Winner has been released from prison. She is still in custody in the residential reentry process. That's like a halfway house. But we are relieved and hopeful. Reality and her family have asked for privacy during the transition process as they work to heal the trauma of incarceration and build back the years lost. Her release is not a product of the pardon or compassionate release process, but rather the time earned from exemplary behavior while incarcerated. Reality is still barred from public statements or appearances, and any inquiries can be handled through my office. So, yeah, she's out, but she hasn't gotten a pardon yet. So we still got some work to do. We still got to put the pressure on President Biden and I think he'll do it. I absolutely think he'll pardon her. That's a win. Pardoning a jackass like Mike Flynn or Roger Stone, that's a horrible use of the pardon power. But this is a girl. She's like a patriot. She's a hero. She's well respected. At least here in America. That's a layup, Joe. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Pardon reality winner. And in the meantime, you should probably focus on putting some real criminals like Ali Alexander, like Matt Gaetz, like Bill Barr, like Rod Rosenstein, like all of 500 different January 6th insurrectionists, put all those jackasses behind bars. Okay? Keep patriots like reality winner out of the slammer. And that's all I got to say about that. What do you guys think? You guys agree? You approve of this? I hope so. I surely hope so. Lisa Hathaway says, I shouted, yes, because I've been praying for reality winner to be freed. Prayers work. Prayer does work. People don't believe it. Watcher Soko says they're still gagging her. Yes, they will not allow her to speak. Michelle Warmoth says President Biden needs to ask for her case to be re-examined in light of all that came out after. That's right, because we learned after the fact that the intel agencies confirmed what she said. It's not like, she was spreading false information. She says it's wrong to disclose classified info, but she thought it was her duty to warn. Well said. Well said. And I see the majority of you here are agreeing. Corey Lord says she doesn't deserve to be forbidden to speak her mind. Pressuring our president won't help. If we convince him to understand her benevolence, that'll be a win. Oh, look at Johnny's 2 cents is trying to tiptoe in silently. No good, Johnny. I see you. I see you and your 2 cents. All right, pal. Cindy C says she should have been under whistleblower protections. I agree that. Sandra says she should write a book. They can't silence her forever. I'm sure there's a book coming, and that'll be a bestseller. People want to know what did she go through. What went into the process of making a big decision, knowing that what you're doing you might be penalized for, and she was. Okay, but I think she's done her time and she has earned an early exit. She's actually under. She's going to be in custody until November, I think 26th or something like that. Wojo Mom, I see you, Wojo Mom. I got you. I thought I shouted you out earlier. Okay, next up, those of you who have been following Brooklyn Dad's show, Storytime with BDD, know that before I was Brooklyn Dad, I was Washington Heights kid. Yeah, that's where I grew up. That's where I spent the 17 years, the early 17 years of my life. First, we lived in the Bronx for about 7 years, and then we moved to Washington Heights. And this picture right here, Washington Heights was like a wonderful experience for me. That's right, Samantha Hawkins from the Bronx. That's right. Washington Heights, the time, my childhood there was beautiful. Yeah, I had some, nicks and bruises and cuts and got into fights and stuff like that. But that period of my life has like a rosy glow over it. And we were well represented, by people from every walk of life. At the top of that screen there, the guy to the far left, that's Quentin, and he was from Texas. A few guys over from him, that's Nicholas, and his family was from Greece. They were Greek. Right next to Nicholas is my buddy Jim Corpus from the Philippines, and so forth and so on. We had everybody. We had people from every walk of life, every religion you could possibly imagine. And they're way there in the front. I was one of the shortest guys in the class. Is the red arrow pointing at me with my afro? That's me, BDD. And those of you who are out there, how tall am I now? I'm 5'9", relative, just average, I guess. Direct right next to me, those of you who are fans of the show The Walking Dead may or may not recognize the guy who's next to me. That is Seth Gilliam, aka Father Gabriel from The Walking Dead. Fun fact, yeah. And that's us there. That is a class reunion that we went to in, I think this was 2010. And that's me and Seth Gilliam over there on the far right of that picture. And as you can see, our class is represented by all shades and colors, and, that's it. Our childhood was so special that we, from elementary school, we have sought each other out to do these reunions as often as we can. Obviously, we didn't do it last year because of pandemic, but this was a cruise, a little short dinner cruise that we went on as a group. This was unfortunately this was a funeral that we attended for one of our classmates. And again, I'm pointing this out, and this picture especially, the young lady to the far right, that's Michelle Gonzalez, and she is what some people would refer to as a dark-skinned Latina. Yeah? And that is dark-skinned Latinas and Latinos are at the center of the controversy swirling around the latest musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda, In the Heights. So, In the Heights, it takes place in my old stomping grounds in Brooklyn. And I'm telling you, I watched this, my first watching, I just absolutely adored it. And I started watching it again on Saturday, and then I switched off for Superman. But, excuse me, it is a lovely, fun musical. As far as musicals go, I think Lin-Manuel is extremely talented at what he does. And, after I watched it, I saw some negative tweets, and immediately I kind of got defensive. I was like, come on, man, the woke police are intruding on this beautiful call out to, as I'm watching this movie, keep in mind I grew up here, so the way the buildings are, I recognize all that shit. The neighborhood was a character of the movie, so I'm watching this, and look, I've been watching for representation of black peoples for as long as I can remember. As long as I can remember, I always want to see myself on the big screen or on the small screen. I want to see, look, when you got people of color in an action movie, are they the first to die or are they the last to die? What kind of role are they getting? Are they getting the stereotypical drug dealer thing, or are they a good leading member of the cast? Do they have a significant amount of dialogue? So that sort of thing. It's a part of me. Sometimes I will count people, and it never dawned on me the way it dawns on people when they watch an episode of Friends, right? When you guys, I'm sure, heard the controversy around Friends, you're like, yo, this thing takes place in New York City, but you got like no black people in there. I started watching Friends, and I started counting, and there's occasional some black people there, but they're mostly like background characters. So valid point there. But this had the guy Corey Hawkins from Straight Outta Compton. Unfortunately, he was the only black person with speaking roles. So I never consider myself having all of the answers to everything and being right about everything. I reserve the right to be wrong and to reconsider my initial thought, and that's how you grow. You just keep your glass half full. Don't be so brainy that nobody can teach you anything about anything. So yes, so he was maybe a token member of the black community. But that's not what the controversy was about. It was from the Latino community, or the sub community, which is the dark skinned Latino community. And there is an issue that's real, that exists, where people of darker complexion don't get the same opportunities as people that are lighter complexioned, right? If you watch telenovelas, you'll often see the darker skinned people get the roles of maids or service, people. They don't get main speaking roles. That's usually reserved for either white or light skinned Hispanics. Yeah. And so this was the issue. And you know what? It is definitely 1000% a fair point to make. If you're trying to make something that's authentic, why stop at the music? It's the people that makes the thing. And the director, John Chu, the guy who directed Crazy Rich Asians, he said, well, we had people that were dancing, and you know what? I'm going to show you a bit from. It's an interview from The Roots. The Roots is a blog. It's a online magazine, and they did a really good job of getting to the root of the issue. And I'm going to share that with you guys right now. The late night.
Congratulations on In the Heights. It was a lovely musical. But as a Black woman of Cuban descent, specifically from New York City, it would be remiss of me to not acknowledge the fact that most of your principal actors were light-skinned or white-passing Latinx people. So with that, what are your thoughts on the lack of Black Latinx people represented in your film?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was something we talked about, and I needed to be educated about, of course. In the end, when we were looking at the cast, we tried to get the people who were best for those roles, and that specifically, and we saw a lot of people like Daphne or Dasha. But I hear you on, trying to fill those cast members with darker skin. I think that's a really good conversation to have. Something that we should all be talking about.
I didn't realize until making this movie that I didn't really get to see myself or people that look like my siblings that are darker than me on screen. And I didn't realize how much that affected the limitations that I put on myself, being someone who wanted to be an artist and be an actress and, even be in the Latin music industry, being Afro-Latina. I feel so blessed we get to express the diversity that is within the Latinx community in a way that we haven't been able to see on screen, because so many times we're put on screen in one particular way, and since we get so little opportunities, everyone wants to claim that one story because it's all we got.
I think it's important to note, though, that in the audition process, which was a
good
long
point,
audition
Lee Saunders,
process, there were a lot of Afro-Latinos there, a lot of darker skinned people, and I think they were looking for just the right people for the roles, for the person that embodied each character in the fullest extent. And I think we are all very much like our characters, so much so that a lot of times it didn't even feel like we were acting. They just kind of let us live in there. And because the cast ended up being us, and Washington Heights is a melting pot of Black and Latinx people, John and Lynn wanted the dancers and the big numbers to feel very truthful to what the community looks like.
Did you not see that in the in the dancers as well?
Those are roles that historically we've been able to fill, right? We've been able to be the dancers, and we've been able to be in the hair salons, and this and that. But like a lead, that's the breakthrough. If you want to see Black people.
I hated to cut her off there, but she hit the nail right on the head. That is at the crux of the issue. I saw some interesting comments here. One from Lee Saunders, who pointed out that she said people had this conversation when Natalie Wood played Maria in West Side Story. And, I love that musical too. But if you were to watch that musical again today with the way it was cast, Natalie Wood was not Latina, but she portrayed one. Why not have a real Latina do the lead, you know? And they did that with movies all throughout Hollywood where they had, white guys portraying Asian men and they would pull their skin back and it was horrible, or they, put prosthetics. Just use an Asian guy, for crying out loud. And if you want to go back way, way back, even further, back to the blackface days, that was disgrace. It was horrendous. And they did the blackface as a comical thing to poke fun at us. So, yeah, it's 2021. Get it right, guys. Get it right. There's lots of talented people out there that you can add for real, authentic flavor to your movie. And, a lot of them can sing and dance and act. So don't just consider them for, those dancing only roles. Consider them for the speaking roles too. Yeah, Speedtopia. You heard that. You heard that when she said best for those roles. Yeah. And so it wasn't until I watched that interview by The Roots, which was a fantastic interview. I highly suggest you guys check it out. It's somewhere on Twitter. Just Google, don't Google. In the search field on Twitter, type in the Heights colorism. Yeah, because prior to watching this, the only thing that I was aware of was the disparity. There's like this constant debate between Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. They hate each other. I'm sure it's not all of them, but it is like it's a debate. Dominicans think they're better than Puerto Ricans, and Puerto Ricans think they're better than Dominicans, and it's that thing. It's real. And I was confused. I learned that when I was little. And I was like, but why? You all speak the same language. You basically look the same. What? I don't know. I don't understand. But it's a whole culture thing. But you break that down into the skin complexions and you got a mess. And yeah, bigotry and prejudice is horrible no matter what language you're speaking and no matter where you live, whether it's Washington Heights, whether it's Brooklyn, whether it's Kansas City, whether it's Minneapolis, racism is horrible. Lee Saunders pointing out that Spielberg has done a remake. I got my fingers crossed that they don't screw that one up. Yes, Sylvia Correa pointing out, didn't they have Rita Moreno? Yes, they did. And she had like the supporting actress role. Yeah, indeed. Let's see. Trump Reaper pointing out Birth of a Nation. That's right. Oh, Lisa Hathaway talking about Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's. I think Mickey Rooney was playing an Asian man. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Sandra saying white guys playing Native American Indians in Westerns. That's right. Samantha B. pointing out able-bodied people playing characters with people in wheelchairs, etc. 1,000%. So, I learned something from this thing where my initial gut reaction was to reject the criticism of this movie that I enjoyed. And I want to say, you'll note that the interviewer said, "Your beautiful movie." She enjoyed the movie, but so It's interesting. You can love something and still criticize it. You can enjoy something and still criticize it. You don't have to 1000%, oh, it's all or nothing. No. That's what America is all about. We love this country that we live in, but do we have criticism for it? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And do we have criticism for our own party when we see shit that's not right within our own party? Yes, we criticize it immediately and sometimes to a fault. But yeah, when you love something, that means you always want it to improve. You always want it to be better. Yeah? That's how we are with our kids. That's how we are, if you want something to be better, you gotta get the shit out of it. All right, so that's it for that feature. I hope you enjoyed it. I just want to remind those of you who might be out there in the background lurking, please remember to hit the like button as you lurk. You don't have to pop in and say nothing. Just say, hey, I like what you're doing. Hit that like button. Smash it. The writer-driver is throwing up here, skin of bronze, hair of wool. I believe you are describing Jesus. Okay. Moving right along, our next bit is, you know what it is. It's You Raggedy Bish. Yes. And today's You Raggedy Bish, you will recognize from the former guy's administration. She was the Minister of Propaganda, a.k.a. his press secretary. It was none other than Kayleigh McEnany. And let's take a look back at some of her lowlights. Boom.
This president will always put America first. He will always protect American citizens. We will not see diseases like the coronavirus come here.
The 15 within a couple of days is going to be down to close to zero.
This president has this under control. Right now, we're proceeding as normal. Joe Biden's looking for an excuse to get off the campaign trail.
50 or 60,000 people, 65,000 people, 75, 80 or 90,000 people.
They had minimum numbers of 100,000, and I think we're going to beat that.
We have between 100 and 200,000. We all together have done a very good job.
The United States has now registered 200,000 coronavirus deaths.
The death toll will surpass 410,000 by January.
Why haven't you said anything about the U.S. hitting 200,000 deaths?
Go ahead. Anybody else?
The president has always been clear-eyed with the American people. He was always clear-eyed about the lives we could lose. I will never lie to you. You have my word.
She said, I will never lie to you. You guys remember, she said that in her first press conference in front of the White House press over a year ago. And since then, she has done nothing but lie. She lied. She lied about lying for a lying liar who resided in the White House at the time. And then, after she left, she got a job on Fox News so she could continue her thing of getting paid to lie. And yesterday, or sometime this weekend, she said that she never told a lie. She said she never lied. And that's a lie. So it's important. Yeah, she might be out of the White House, but she is still sitting in an influential role as a Fox News commentator. And the scary thing about her is that she lies. She look right into the camera and she will say it without hesitation, with no guilt, no remorse. She'll just continue to spew her lies in a very convincing way. This is gaslighting. This is gaslighting. Your hand will be on fire and she'll tell you that your hand is submerged in water in such a way that if you are stupid, you will believe it. And unfortunately, here in America, we have an abundance of stupid people. Mika 26 wants to know, why is she still relevant? she is relevant because, like I said, she is a mouthpiece now on Fox News, where I would say most of the Republicans are watching Fox News. Most of them. If they're not watching Fox News, they're watching something worse like OAN or Newsmax. And that is a considerable, even though, 100% of Republicans is really only 29% of the country. But 29% of 300 million, that's 100 million people. And 100 million people is nothing to sneeze at. And she is disseminating propaganda and false information to these people with no remorse whatsoever. She told her lies for the entire year of her tenure, and it was damaging. Right now, we are in a crisis. We're still in the pandemic, believe it or not. Yes, a lot of people are getting vaccinated, but not enough people, because you have people like her who continue to lie and cast doubt on vaccinations, and they want to cast doubt on this current administration. So, yeah, she is today's you raggedy bitch. Her influence is waning, but she still has influence. So she's somebody to keep an eye on, unfortunately. Boom. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, you guys. All right. So I noticed somebody a little while ago asked about NATO. So President Biden, I thought I covered it, but maybe I didn't cover it during the quick hits. NATO, during the Trump administration, Trump was telling people that NATO wasn't important, and NATO, those NATO countries, you need to pay your fair share. You need to pay if we're going to protect you. And he made it seem like we weren't even committed to Article 5. So what is Article 5? Article 5 is part of the NATO treaty that says, those of us who are part of NATO, if you get into a beef, we got your back. It's that simple. And Joe Biden reasserted our commitment to NATO, to having the nations in NATO's back. And he said it's a sacred commitment. It's a sacred responsibility. And yeah, of course, we're here. We're here. We got you. We got you. So he also mentioned that both China and Russia are going to be issues, are going to be of concern. He said China is a challenge and Russia is a threat. So that's news. It's newsworthy because this is a different president. It is a real president who is acknowledging the threats and acknowledging our allies, and we are going to attack those threats and those challenges as a team. Even if you're America first, it doesn't mean that you're America alone. The cool thing about being America is we have friends. We got a lot of them. And combined together, united, we can be a force for change. All right, so I got time for like this many questions. Hit me, show me what you got. I know Solid Blue Sister most likely is already queued up some kind of question for me. Let's see. Who's got a question for the Brooklyn Dad? Hit me with your best shot. Na, na, na. Ah, there she is. Solid Blue Sister. She says, you're a young BDD. What TV son characters from the 70s are you? Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, Good Times, Sanford and Son, Lionel, The Jeffersons, Lionel, or Different Strokes? Ah, that's a good one because I love those TV shows, all from the 70s. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. No, not the Brady Bunch, not the Partridge Family. Good Times. No, I'm not wisecracking JJ. I'm close to Michael, but even Michael is a bit too militant. I was Michael when I was like in my early 20s. I was Michael. I was wearing a black beret. I was serious, walking around with my book of Malcolm X speeches. Um, I would say that I'm closest to Lionel on the Jeffersons. Lionel on the Jeffersons, that brother was smooth and he was smart, very smart. Uh, and he would, there was a lot of shit that Archie Bunker, when Lionel used to make appearances in All in the Family, Archie Bunker would say a lot of racist shit, and Lionel never let it get him flustered or bothered, visibly at least. He was always outsmarting Archie Bunker, which wasn't that tough because Archie Bunker today would be a Trumper. So, solid Blue Sister, thank you for that question. That was a good one. That was very good. Corey Lord wants to know, why does Kayleigh lie to give herself solace? I think she's doing it for a paycheck. I don't think she's stupid. I think she knows it, but she is just fully committed. She's fully committed. And the only way, so I was in sales a lot in my life. I had done sales. I sold vacuum cleaners. And the most effective salespeople are the ones who believe what they are selling you, when they believe in it 100%. And when I was selling Kirby vacuums, I was blown away. I was blown away by how amazing this Kirby vacuum cleaner was. And I believed it was worth every single penny of that $1,200. We were selling it for $1,200 at the time. And so if you want to sell something, you have to, and be successful at it, you have to believe wholeheartedly. So I don't think she fully believes all the shit that she's selling, but I think she believes that she has to make people believe it. So she's committed herself to lying so that she can be more successful in selling her lies and make more money. That's what I think. Wilbur McCarthy. This is a good question. When the Delta variant hits the Southeast and Southwest, it's not a question, it's more of a statement. He says, we will be fucked because the vaccination rate is about 30% down here. So the Delta variant is big trouble. I've seen a lot of people talking about it. They're saying the one-shot vaccine is not effective on the Delta variant. And that's a little scary. I got the Pfizer, I got the 2-shot, but it's scary because even though it doesn't affect me, if it affects other people, if it affects high numbers of people who've only got the 1-shot, we could be sinking back into, shut down pandemic again. And if that happens, that could be serious. That could be a serious problem. Our economy will suffer. And as a result, our party will suffer. America is going to suffer, but definitely the party will suffer. We will be wiped out in the midterm elections if we go into another pandemic lockdown. I'm calling it. And I hate to call it, but facts are facts. And that's a fact. Jack. JJ Dynamite. I would never choose Chachi, Ness. RJ wants to know, what about the Ilhan Omar and MTG pending sanctions? Well, the Republicans, was it the Republicans or the Democrats? No, the Republicans have drafted a thing to censure Ilhan Omar because they say that she compared United States and Israel to Hamas. And I saw the statement. I don't think that's what she was trying to say. I also don't think that she was wrong either. I don't. I think the United States has done some heinous shit. That's a fact. Israel has. That's a fact. Hamas has. That's a fact. She's calling for accountability. So because of that, and for having dared to utter a bad word against the United States, let's not forget the leader of the Republican Party just a few years ago told Lester Holt, on national TV, yeah, you think we're so great, when Holt brought up the fact that Russia, he asked him, do you think Putin is a killer? And Trump's response was, we have killers here. We have killers in America. You think we're so great? We kill people. We did terrible things. Dude, what? So, yeah, spare me the fake outrage about Ilhan Omar and anything that she said. I personally, I think that she is very controversial because she says what it's on her mind. Whether or not she articulates it well, that's debatable. But she doesn't hold back. Oh, okay. So, guys, that's it. My time is up. Thank you for another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad. And if you gotta go out tonight, please make sure you wear your mask, wear your gloves, keep your social distance 6 feet or better, and have a beautiful, relaxing evening. So as you guys remember, I am doing the Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing now, so I won't be here tomorrow, but I will be here Wednesday, hump day, Wednesday, same time, same place. I love you all. Peace. Synth Fan has asked for a game on Wednesday. We shall see. Boom. Hey! Wilbur McCarthy says McCarthy wants to sanction Omar, but he won't sanction his miscreants. That, Wilbur, is an excellent word. Miscreants. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Cindy C., thank you for the reminder. She says, hit the like button before you go. Lee Saunders says, if Omar was blonde and white, they'd be less critical of her. I agree. Bump, bump. Petty Dev says, we really love you, but really tune in for the roll call. Yeah, I got you. Lisa Hathaway is proposing a BDD group meet and greet sometime in October. I like it. I'm going on record. I say I like it. We shall see. Hey! Yeah. All right, you guys. I'm going to let that idea of the October meet and greet percolate in my head. It's intriguing. I love it so much. And now it is time. You know what time it is. It's time for You Need to